What is up, world? YouTube specifically. To Patriot, I'm back again live. Let's see, January 16, 2019, 4:26 Eastern Standard Time. The title of this live stream was, Does the Border Wall Scam Have You Distracted from Something Else? I've been thinking about this topic a lot, specifically with regards to today. And the reason that this topic... Let me deal with this dog. Quiet! Damn, annoying puppy. The reason why specifically today the border wall crap has me distracted is that it seems like it's more of a distraction than anything else. Another division tactic. Let's think logically for a second. What's the probability that any wall will ever truly be completed or built or anything? It's just not likely. It's probably not going to happen. So all we keep hearing about is the result of the we're not even hearing so much about the wall. We're hearing more about the immigration's the problem, which is why we need the wall. But we can't have the wall, so since we're not getting the wall, that's the cause for the shutdown. So the shutdown is the primary focus of our concern, and that's all we're hearing about. Well, we've got to bust balls because we've got to come out of this shutdown. So we have to have an agreement. And what started all of this shit, we're so far removed from the original topic. The original idea, the original ideology, the original point that started the whole argument was this so-called wall. Even like today, I looked through my Twitter feed. I might be wrong. Let me look through it again. It's been a little bit, but when I look through my Twitter feed, let's see how far I have to scroll down. I've only got, I ain't got a whole million subscribers or nothing, a million followers on Twitter, so it shouldn't take me too awful long. And I'm scrolling down. I'm still scrolling. I'm not going to do this all day. I scrolled down for roughly 30 seconds and I did not see not one tweet with regards to a wall. Let me click over here to Facebook. Okay. No. The closest I even got to a wall post on Facebook had nothing to do with a wall. It was poking fun at Mexico. My point is that all I've heard for weeks is shutdown bullshit. Shutdown bullshit as the result of an argument, as the result of Trump throwing a temper tantrum over a wall. Yet, let's think in terms of not bullshit that we've heard on social media. Not bullshit that we've seen some fucking talking head on some so-called lamestream media affiliate. Not something we've read in some Jewish-owned fucking newspaper in New York City. But let's think in terms of real-world scenarios. Has my life, or the life of anyone I know, or anyone in my local community, been affected by a wall, a lack of a wall, or a government shutdown as the result of an argument over a wall or a lack of a wall. No. I've asked everybody in my local community. We don't even know anyone that knows anyone whose life has personally been impacted by either a wall or a lack of a wall, or a shutdown which allegedly occurred as the result of an argument over a wall or a lack of a wall. Yet, all I have heard on the local news, all I have seen on social media, is been nothing for a month now but wall bullshit, government shutdown bullshit. Now I have to ask myself, if it's not physically impacted my life, meaning there's been no effect, either good or bad, as the result of any of this chaos, what was its point? What did it accomplish? Things don't happen for nothing. Things do not happen for no reason. So what am I being distracted from? More importantly, what is society on a global, I don't like using that terminology, on a world scale, being distracted from? What is being accomplished with us busy focusing our attentions on a alleged shutdown? An alleged shutdown that has occurred as the result of a so-called politician allegedly not getting their way and throwing a temper tantrum. I don't think that any of this stuff has anything to do with this at all. I've looked at both the pros and the cons of the whole argument. You know, I'll give you an example. The mainstream media won't talk about the 40-something or close to 40 terrorists in the last couple years that have been apprehended at the Canadian border. They will mention, however, the 4, 5, 6 alleged terrorists that have been apprehended at the southern border. They won't talk about the heroin trade with regards to China, with regards to how much comes through the Canadian border. But they'll talk about the southern border and some pot and some meth. What are we being distracted from? And you know, anytime you use these divisive tactics, it goes back to your whole Hegelian dialectic. And when you're dividing and conquering a society, it's keeping us from being able to have the strength that would come with unity. Now, I don't think that is the purpose. I think that's icing on the cake, if you will. That is a benefit that they will exploit and capitalize on till they can't no more. But that's not even it. A lot of things are occurring that are keeping us away from looking around. What I mean is that there's nothing new under the sun. This isn't a new practice, but I notice that more and more it seems like we're being led to focus on things that are of no relevance to us. Why would I care if the government shut down or didn't shut down? Why would that ever matter to me? If I believed or perceived that it had in fact shut down. which I don't believe that it ever has. You see, if a government had shut down, had partially shut down, somebody somewhere would see or feel a real world effect from that. Now, maybe here in Tennessee, we're just a bunch of redneck good old boys, a bunch of farmers, a bunch of country folk. So maybe we're late to feel the effects of the meanderings of these big city folk. What I mean is maybe we don't feel it as much or as quickly as some inner city people may. But there would be some ripple. You throw a stone in a pond. Them ripples are real big, but then they start to get smaller as they go outward from the point at which the stone enters the water. We might even feel small ripples, but we would feel something. There would be something to indicate to us that something was occurring. Yet, from the perspective of actual, not a perception based on something I've read in a paper, not a perception based on something I've seen on TV, not a perception based on something I saw on Twitter or YouTube or Instagram, but an actual effect. The only effect that I have seen with regards to this entire fiasco has been distraction. Thus, I still pose the question, what are we being distracted from? Jinxie, I see that you're in chat. Thank you, friend, for being here. I didn't anticipate going live today. I got some unexpected free time, and I'm just, going through my social media accounts. I was listening to some music in the background, and I noticed that things today are a little different. The energy, the mood, the stuff that people are talking about, the videos I'm seeing posted today, everything is completely different today than the normal trends of the last several weeks. And I'm wondering what's different. It had me thinking about some of this stuff that's going on. Food for thought. Or what have you. I wonder what has occurred that's made us perceive that we somehow and then I have a comment that I'll read. This person, I finally found someone on Facebook mentioning the so-called wall conversation, and they said that continuing to allow an invasion of illegal aliens means that this country is fucked. Would I wrong to perceive that it's always been fucked? I don't know. It's just my perception. But then people might call me a pessimist. Okay, fine, so be it. I'm a pessimist. We're going to have one-party rule in our future if some radical shit doesn't happen fast. That's this person's perception with regards to so-called illegal aliens and the invasion of these illegal aliens. Yeah, I live in an agriculture area. We've got a lot of Mexicans. And I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to argue. I'm not trying to steal anybody's thunder. I'm just saying I'm using my own life and my own experiences and talking about what I see, what I feel, and apologies if at a later point somebody sees this and it comes across as being arrogant, wrong, or argumentative. Alright, that being said, we've got a lot of Mexicans in my area. I live in an agriculture area, a lot of farming. Unfortunately, people have gotten lazy. The average person does very little and is willing to do very little. That being said, lots of farms, we got to have someone willing to work. And them Mexicans, you can say what you want to against them, but them motherfuckers are some hard workers. 110 degrees outside, no water, no nothing. They will work their fucking ass off from the time the sun comes up to the time the sun goes down. And the only time you'll ever hear a fucking peep out of them is when they get that their lunch break. And that's when you see somebody's got a grill, somebody's got something. They've always got somebody cooking up a bunch of food, and they're all happy-go-lucky, jovial sort. They eat their fucking lunch, and then they get their asses right back up on a ladder, right back up on a tractor, right back in the field. They get back to work. Legal, illegal, I'm just talking about Mexicans in my local agricultural community. Now, 20 years ago, there were not as many Mexican families as there are today, okay? But I can't tell you that I have seen visibly an influx or an invasion, as that person that had commented on my Facebook post. I've not seen any of that. So where is this invasion occurring? I'll tell you what I have seen in my geographic location. We don't have very many gas stations. 20 years ago, one or two were owned by Hindu families, Indian families. Today, all of them are owned by Indian, Hindu families. I've seen that. And even that wasn't what I would consider an invasion, because that took place over the course of 20 years. I gotta say though, it has not negatively impacted my life. In honesty, it's actually enriched my life. And I'm not kissing nobody's fucking ass. I don't give a fuck. You can title me, label me however the fuck you deem fit. You can call me a liberal, call me a free spirit, call me a fucking hippie, call me a socialist. Whatever floats your boat. I'm just saying that from personal life experience, it's not been a bad thing. Now, there was a time when I was in the service, and just briefly after I got out of the service, in which I thought that I would hear words and they would mean something different. Like I would hear something like illegal alien, and I automatically connected that with criminal. I mean, it was just like an almost instantaneous feeling. And it's not that I was against Hispanics, Mexicans, Indians, Arabs, Muslims, but the idea was that for them to be illegal meant that they committed crimes, which meant they were criminals, and my upbringing was that criminals were bad. So I ignorantly saw any alleged criminal as a bad person. I didn't really know anything about politics. That wasn't really what I was concerned with at that time, you know. And I didn't know enough about etymology. I didn't know enough about linguistics. I didn't know enough about geopolitics. And I had a jaded worldview. Now I'm a little bit older. I'm a little bit different of a person, and my views have changed. And I've got to say that I've got a few Mexican friends right now, currently today, that are so-called illegal aliens. And I'm being honest. Them motherfuckers, they've got it just as fucking rough as I do. They work their asses off just enough, and they make just enough to be broke on payday. We sit out in the barn, we get drunk, and guess what? They get bitched at by their fucking old lady the same as I do. Yeah. They drive piece of shit Ford fucking pick-em-up trucks that are rusted out, and you got to worry about your foot going through the floorboard. I've got one, my close friend Luis. I don't even know if I should have said that. Well, it's only his so-called first name. But Luis, he's an illegal alien, and the state is coming after his ass for child support. He has to worry that he's going to serve time in the county jail for child support. Not had much work, weather, whatever. My point is that at the end of the day, my struggles and their struggles are completely the same. So my only observation is that if we're both struggling just to get by, wouldn't it lessen our struggle when we work together? And I'm not even saying it would. It's just something I wonder about. I don't know. I don't know how I'm supposed to perceive that somehow, because Luis is an illegal alien, that my life is suffering as the result of him being broke right alongside me being broke. The way I see it, we're in the shit fucking together. So I have to look at the people that would lead me to perceive that my good buddy Luis is such a bad, terrible person, you know, on account of him being here illegally, him being part of the illegal alien invasion. And I have to look at the people that are leading me to have those perceptions. Well, I don't know about the rest of you all, but when I'm out here carrying thousands of pounds of soil in buckets up and down the side of a fucking mountain all day, it's my motherfucking fat ass fucking illegal alien Mexican friend that's helping me. You know who I don't find out there helping me? The Trumps. Matter of fact, I shouldn't single the Trumps out. There's no politicians out there helping me. None. Zero. There are no rich people out there helping me. And when I have to worry about getting took advantage of, when I have to worry about a real crime, someone stealing from me, someone taking from me, someone fucking me up on one of my deals, you know who I gotta worry about doing that to me? The rich folk. The Trumps. All of that demographic that's sitting there telling me I'm supposed to be against the fat ass Mexican that's in the trenches working right along beside me. Me and Luis worked a job for some people one time. We were supposed to get X number of dollars per hour payable when the job was done. And guess what? It was me and Luis riding in Luis's broke down ass fucking vehicle that he still owed $1 million for, trying to hunt down that rich motherfucker to get our money. And when we finally cornered that rich motherfucker, you know what he did? He tried to short each of us out of our fucking money. And that's the sort that's telling me that I should somehow perceive that these so-called aliens are out to get me. The long story short with regards to that topic specifically is that Luis taught me how to make salsa. Now I know that's funny and probably most of the world genuinely wouldn't give a shit about something like that. For me though, that was a big deal. It's one of my favorite foods. His dad taught me how to drink tequila. I know. Again, probably something that's just, fucking ignorant and people won't understand or get it. And my life has truly been blessed and enriched because of people like Luis and his family. Nothing but good has came from my interactions with him and his family. And if I were to take the stance that a lot of people are being encouraged to take, my life would have suffered. It would not have been as culturally well-rounded as it is now. I would have faced more detriment than I did benefit. But judging things from the experiences that I've had, I've received more benefit than I have detriment from the so-called illegal invasion. Now, many of you know I'm a disabled American veteran, being expected to live off of less than, $628 a month. Oh, wait, I'm lying to you. I got a raise this year. Yeah, I'm up to $637 fucking dollars a month I'm expected to live off of. Of course, they had to cut some of my food stamps back on account of giving me those extra few dollars. My life hasn't gotten any better or worse as a result of anything related to immigration, either legal immigration or illegal immigration. So when I wake up today and I think about the things that affect my life, the things that affect me personally as an individual, immigration has nothing to do with it, legal or otherwise. The detriment to my life is the same detriment it's always been. It's been Obama. It's been the Bush family. It's been the Clinton family. It's been the Trump family. But I know those are just talking heads. They're paid to get in front of the sheep, the same sheep that participate in the voting illusion. Cheers, Perth Observer. I seen you popped in chat there. Thank you for being here, friend. I'm ranting about border wall bullshits and immigration bullshit and the distraction that it's causing. But anyway, I have to think about the detriments to my life. It's the same detriment that I face today is the same detriment that I faced for 20, 30, 40, 50 fucking years of my life. It's been the Colombian district. It's been NATO. It's been the so-called United Nations. And somebody else brought this point up, which I'm going to make for you all that was interesting yesterday. I might have even streamed it. I don't recall. But it's like a NATO. What is NATO? A peacekeeping force? Why is it always got to be force? Because nothing's willful. You know, none of it's willful. They have to coerce you to do anything. That's how government works. The problem is government. The problem isn't my fat ass illegal alien Mexican fucking homie. That's not the problem. Wall, no wall, that ain't the problem. What's the problem? What's the real problem? Jesuits run this place. They always have. They always have. Always have. Always. Go back to the beginning. They always have. All goes back to that Seal of Solomon. Oh, excuse me. I mean the Star of David. Excuse me again. I mean that Rothschild fucking family crest thing. I mean, yeah. People that sit and do nothing. And then when we sit and think about what we should do, we're fed so many distractions that we can't even differentiate between good and bad anymore. And out of fear, that's when the ego kicks in. And the ego wants to defend. So your self-defense, your fight or flight mechanisms kick in. And out of fear that we're going to do the wrong thing, we'll do nothing. Yeah, that's a whole big fucking shitstorm, Jinxie. We got Statue of Liberty, too. And a big fat fucking penis in the fucking middle of that Columbian district. The Washington Monument. It's a big cock. Because how do you keep a prison full? Well, with regards to this prison, they use procreation. And it all leads us to the same point. And you know, we would like to, you know, and not to play devil's advocate. There's another good saying. To play devil's advocate, they deserve to rule this place. And I say that because we're not willing to do what it takes. We're not in a position to run a fucking thing. The only thing we can run is our fucking mouth. They get to rule us because they're willing to do what it takes, and we are not. And since they are willing to do what it takes, they get to enjoy the spoils that come with being the winner. We get to take and enjoy the loss that comes with being the loser. John F. Kennedy, he was a good man. He come from a shitty, evil, shitty family. But he was a good man. And he thought he could actually apply difference. And the very instant that he posed threat to the powers that be, what did they do? Now, you know of a lot of people that pose actual problem in the world. How many heads have you went out and put bullets in? Well, I can't do that. That's a crime. That would be mean. It's not my place to judge. Oh, I can't do nothing. No. I'm not picking on you. I do the same thing. We all do. The powers that be are the powers that be because they're willing to do what it takes. Good or bad, they're willing to do it. Even if that means sacrifice their own child, sacrifice their own family, sacrifice their self. Now, their agendas are usually always evil because they're psychopaths. A lot of inbreeding and a lot of other shit has caused them to be fucked up. But the contrast to that is that if society got to the point that it was willing to do what it takes, and it devoted that energy towards a neutral agenda or the betterment of all, there'd be no limitation. But instead, we are led to the divisive tactics come back into play. We can't do that. For instance, if something like Kennedy's assassination, you know how many people and how many months go into something like that? I don't even know of a room where we can put 4 fucking people in and have a conversation that won't result in an argument. We can't even get 4 of us together and talk on fucking YouTube without fighting. We can't get 6 of us, a bag of pot, a cooler of fucking beer, and sit outside in the woods without fighting. So where does that leave us? Maintaining status quo, because as I've said before, you either have a plan or you are part of someone else's plan. And they know this. If me and my buddies got a big thing going on and we want to make sure that you and your buddies don't pose threat to our plan, the best thing we can do is get you motherfuckers arguing amongst yourselves. And that's what they do. Hence, well, I'm for the fucking Mexicans. Well, I'm against them illegal aliens. Well, I'm for them. Well, I'm against them. Let's build a wall. No, we can't do that. It's mean. Let's build a wall and make them pay for it. Okay, but they won't pay for it. Well, they're not paying for it. Let's just shut this shit down. What are we being distracted from? Because it's all smoke and fucking mirrors. It's all sleight of hand. It's all a fucking parlor trick. It's called the scripture because it comes from something that was scripted. Something that is scripted is predetermined. There's already a planned course of action being put into place. Hence, the characters follow the script. So again, I wonder, what are we being distracted from? I already know, and even if I were wrong, let's say I'm completely full of fucking shit. I don't know my ass from a hole in the ground. I know how much monies we have already paid to Elbit Systems. That is an Israeli Mossad intelligence front. It is an actual security corporation. They build actual components. They do actual shit on the surface. But every bit of the metadata that they collect goes back to the Mossad. They are an intelligence corporation, okay? How much money have we already paid them with regards to surveillance on the pieces of border wall that we've already built? Let's go a step further. There were to be not just night vision cameras everywhere. There was also to be drones that would monitor 24/7 parts of the area that the wall would be built that were you can't build as good of a wall in some areas as you can others, so those areas had to have beefed up security with regards to electronic surveillance. What company already has the contracts to be able to be the ones that offers not just the physical components, but mans that surveillance apparatus if such time in the future a wall is built? And why is it that people don't even do this research? I was talking about this shit back in like 2005. Elbit Systems, and that's just one corporation. That's one. There's about 8 of them that have already secured the contracts. Why are we paying fucking Israel to surveil our border if we're building our border to secure or fortify our nation? If that's the truth, then why are we allowing a security threat by contracting another nation to maintain the integrity of the surveillance apparatus, which is the whole reason we're allegedly going to try to, again for the 5th fucking time, construct a border wall to begin with? It's not logical. That's not my opinion. Most of the stuff that I've just now said is public record. Matter of fact, I'm not good at just... Let me see what I can just fucking pull up, just for the sake of historical reference. Oh, of course. Now they've scrubbed it and made it look all... Let me set this up a little bit. I was just telling you about Elbit Systems, okay? Now, of course, the internet, most of the internet is ran by Israel. I'm sorry. Their intelligence is superior. Unfortunately, that's the truth. And they put a lot of time, money, effort, and hours into making sure that when you look for something, you see what they want you to see. I'll scroll down through some of these pages. I'm going to pull up my screen capture screen display and show you what I'm looking at. Now, and all I did was I went to Google, and of course, yes, Google is a Jewish-owned corporation. But anyway, I entered into the search box, Elbit Systems, border, U.S., all lowercase letters, and I'm gonna pull it up just to. And what bothers me is that the articles that I'm seeing are recent, like February 2018. This shit goes back fucking years. This ain't something that I just pulled out of my fucking ass yesterday. Display capture. All right, good deal. Okay, I can do this. I can minimize this one. And I'll do this again. Copy and paste to make it easier. You see what I typed there. I just want to make sure that everybody knows I ain't fooling with buttons and shit. I'm not manipulating nothing. I'm going to paste it. Elbit Systems, border, US, all lowercase. I'm at google.com. I hit my search. Now, I want to find some of the older ones. I don't know how to do that. That's October of 2017. Let's go real far. Let's go 10 pages. Here, back in 2014. Now check this out. This is just, we can go, like I said, this shit goes back a long time. When I initially had done all this research, the first payments that I seen came around the 1995. And at 1995, when I read into the articles from 1995, they alleged that we've got such and such Elbit Systems and they've won the contract for blah, 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 blah. And Elbit Systems has provided security for this, that, and that, and that. You're going back years back. So this is an Israeli intelligence front that we've had a working relationship with for a while now. But I don't even know. That's a lot of fucking money. Alright. Israeli company Elbit Systems, the largest supplier to the Israeli military, has been awarded an $87 million contract from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security to produce and install surveillance systems for the U.S.-Mexico border fence. Now, this is from March 7th, 2014. When did Trump get elected? When did Trump announce his run for presidency? And when Trump started making all of his initial appointments when he took office, who did he appoint and what positions did he appoint them to? Sorry about that. Dog, she's getting My point is that these people, this whole border wall is bullshit. We have went back and forth with this argument since the fucking 60s. It's bullshit. It's always been bullshit. Pentagon. Penta. Like that video, Sarah Penta. Penta. Sarah Penta. Serpent. Penta. Anyway, how much is missing? How much money's missing? How much money's the Pentagon missing exactly? What was it, $11 trillion? Something like that? Trillions missing Pentagon. That's my new search. I even spelled it wrong. 21 trillion. Now it's 6.5 trillion. Now it's 2.3 trillion. The point is that there's trillions of dollars that magically vanish. You think magic. Now you see it, now you don't. They don't magically vanish. They get paid to people. And eventually, people that didn't get paid, and people that didn't get paid as much, they get shitty. Hey, I've been working for you for years, man, and you pay me $5 an hour, and then you turn around and you hire that other motherfucker off the street and give him $10 an hour? Hey, man, that's fucked up. And they start bitching. And then the people that shuffle the money around, they have to account for where that money went. So you need some kind of spectacle. You need a way to... What if you had a way that you could not only account for missing money, but you could also, help your buddy even more? All in the same deal. And that deal was good enough that it could be used to broker a bunch of other deals. And don't want to forget about the dumb, useless fucking eaters, the worthless fucking livestock, the fucking cattle, the citizens. You can't leave them out of the mix. What if in that same deal it was that vast that we could keep all their dumb fucking asses occupied for a year or two, that would buy us up enough time, that would free up enough monies to where we could finish one of our more grandiose agendas. Now you see what I'm talking about. Or you should get the idea of what I'm talking about. But I won't mention no Project Blue Beans or chemtrails or increased chemtrail activities or none of that. I wouldn't even mention 5Gs or fucking smart meters on the houses or none of that, because that's all conspiracy theory. It's all unrelated, and aliens are real, and fucking somebody's gonna save you, and just keep placing faith and hope that tomorrow when you wake up things are gonna be better, and I'm sure you might get lucky and they will be. Meanwhile, here in reality, we all suffer as a result of people's failures to look into all sides of all conversations. It's not about being for the Mexican or against the Mexican. It's not about being Muslim or Christian. It's not about liking crackers or liking niggers or being against the two. All of that shit is divisive. All of that keeps us from focusing on the real problems. And when we can't focus on the real problems that afflict humanity, humanity suffers. When humanity suffers, we all collectively become less humane, or inhumane, or not human. And when we start to lose sight of what it is to be human, what it means to be human, we destroy our world. The only one we have. The only one we have at the moment. No, the dog is, you've not seen her in a while, have you? She's 100 plus pounds. She's enormous, and she just wants to like be arrogant. Karma, come here, dog. Come here, dog. You can come in. Come on, big dog. And you lay down if you can be in here. Ah, what are you sitting on? Ah, it's the big dog. Lay your big ass down. Aww. The big dog wants to be intrusive because it's a requisite that she be the center of attention at all times for all reasons. Yeah, she's 102 pounds and just now 9.5 months old. And she's that strong that taking her out's actually dangerous. Again, I wonder, what are we being distracted from with the border shit? Could it be as simple as we're being distracted from each other? Could it be something that simple? I can't really look at you when I'm being persuaded to overlook you. See, if I can look at you and you look at me, we can find that common ground. We can know just how alike and how truly special we all are. But when I'm having to overlook you because I'm focusing on a simulated difference that repulses me, I don't learn enough about you to know just how much alike me you truly are. And we stay divided. You're for the wall, I'm against the wall. You're for Trump, I'm against Trump. And that's not getting us anywhere. Never does. We've had this discussion for thousands of years, probably. Package opening. Let's see, how long? It's not even telling me how long I've been streaming for. That's terrible. It's got to tell me somewhere. I just want to know. 1 hour and 45 seconds. I think I'm about to end this live stream. I do appreciate sincerely stopping by. Perth, Jinxie, myself, my anonymous viewer. Anyone that sees this in the future, anyone that sees this when I end it, if they allow it to stay on. I do love everyone. I'm sorry that the world is what it is at the moment. But I do thank you all for being here, and I will be back. I'll probably be back on later this evening after I get my chores done. I don't know. But until then, namaste, love. On behalf of Volunteer Agriculture, True Living Organic Farms, True Patriot, also known as CC2 Arms. And until next time, try to be productive, try to love each other, and try to focus instead of what separates us, what makes us the same. We got to find the common ground, because once we realize that we're all looking for the same answers to the same questions, we'll probably come up with more answers than we're doing now. And when we can answer stuff, it's a lot better than just sitting here with our damn fucking our hands full of shit and fucking throwing hands up, not knowing if we're coming or going. But have fun, everyone. Be peace, love to everyone. Be productive. And until next time, folks, later on.